I'm keeping my word. I'm playing this game again. I really don't want to, but I'm not gonna turn my back now. The last time I played this game was 2019, I think. And this is my 4th time playing this game. I did a whole run of this game without Ultimate Armor X or Black Armor Zero. Never got to record it though. That was on the old PS4 and that, well, died. The torture resumes. Already starting off with a retcon. It says Zero crashes into the colony, and he delivers the coup de grace to Sigma. But that only happens in the good ending of X5. In the bad ending of X5, Zero crashes into the space colony, he goes Maverick. He dies after you fight Awakened Zero. And X and Sigma just go up in flames together. So X6, I think, tries to combine both endings. It's stupid. But it's not the story that will give me an aneurysm. I have a few conditions for this playthrough. It's just going to be me commentating all by myself, nobody else. No Ultimate Armor X, no Black Armor Zero. I will fight Nightmare Zero. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and no Rookie Hunter mode either. With that all out of the way. What happened? I heard they avoided the collision. Why do I sound like Wario all of a sudden? But they might as well have failed. And for this, we should be thankful. This is not all. Something else is going to happen. I feel uneasy. What is this? This is debris, but what from? Was there any violent battle here? I wonder how many people and Reploids were sacrificed. What? Wait. This is... 1 week later. It's finally done! I'm going mad, and it is so liberating! No, the plan has only just begun! I'm going to bring all low-grade Reploids into submission! Those too simple to understand my work! I'll build an ideal world only for Reploids. And a wonderful world where I control everything! So... just... discount Sigma, okay. X. Wake up, X. No, you're the only one. This game was not localized well. You're probably going to see some typos in the text. There is no one else. Yep, there is no one else is left to fight. Get up now, X. X, a giant maverick is acting up. Wake up. Alia, do I have to deal with this? I really don't want to. I'll send the detailed info later. You rush to the scene. Okay. No. Most of the Mechaniloids became mavericks. It's been a long time. I hate reading the text like this. Stay alert, X. I'll be fine since I have the armor. And saber. Since I fixed the Falcon armor very quickly, the dash function is incomplete. Kind of like the text boxes. Alright. Anyway, I'll stop the Mechaniloids. Okay. Go to the entrance of the ruins ahead. I'll keep auto charge off. Oh. So, you start off with Falcon armor. I believe it charges special weapons this time. Get used to the Falcon armor being your go-to armor of choice, cause Naked X is not that good. X sort of has saber dash canceling. Sort of. The ropes are back from X5. These things only appear in the intro stage and I believe gate stage 2. Oh. Falcon armor cannot fly anymore, but it does have an air dash. The devs didn't want you cheesing your way out of this game very easily. Sorry if I go quiet, it's just not much I can really say on my own. There you are. Are you alright? Beyond here is a giant Mechaniloid. It suddenly activated due to a radio wave problem. We are afraid we got hurt. I'll take care of this. Return to the hunter base now. Alright. It acts like it's possessed. Be careful. Speedruns of this game usually make it to this fight, drop their health down to low enough so that way the high max encounter goes by pretty quickly. But I'll try and fight it legit. Weak spot is the eye, hitting the armor doesn't really do anything. The intro stages in X games are never really that tough. It's what comes after this stage is where the true torture begins. It blows up, only to get blown up again. Okay. Zero? Take this character and compare it to Vile. Everything that made Vile good, completely lost here. I knew Zero was doing this. Who are you? Hi, Max. I am called. I'm investigating the Zero Nightmare on Jimbo's behalf. What? Did you say the Zero Nightmare? What are you trying to do? What is your connection to the Zero Nightmare? What about Zero? You are behind this. Pretty bold accusation there, X. You are dangerous. I'll dispose of you. You cannot stand up to my ducks. No way to damage him. Like the Vile fight, you just gotta get low enough. Fighting him is a pain in the ass. Maverick Hunter! Not amazing! We will destroy the Zero Nightmare. You are not wanted here. Keep out. And stay away from my ducks. I could not inflict any damage on him. Hi, Max. The Zero Nightmare. Did I dream about Zero? No, the robot exploded twice, X. Your eyes ain't playing tricks on ya. What's happening? Oh god, just looking at this game makes me uneasy. Attention all Reploids on Earth. As you all know, these are chaotic, disturbing times. The nightmare is upon us. There is an imposter among us. It shows Reploids a kind of dream for human beings. No, it's a nightmare. You look an awful lot like Dr. Wily. The nightmare makes Reploids confused. In the worst case, they may malfunction or delete themselves. Due to the space colony incident, there are a few Reploids or humans are there are a few Reploids or humans are left on the Earth. I can't take this seriously. We won't accept sacrifice anymore. This would bring us to the Earth crisis. Taking the matter seriously, we have sent investigations to the 8 suspected areas to uncover the mystery of this nightmare phenomena. It's said that the nightmare phenomena are caused by a ghost of Zero. Way to keep us in suspense. Known as an ace Maverick Hunter. What? What are you talking about? Wait, X, let him finish his story. Ugh. Now, I'd like to call on volunteers. I volunteer as tribute. Unite with us and help our cause. Yes, because I trust a dude with red eyes. Work for these... hard to see that for a moment. 8 investigators. Our goal is to wipe out the nightmare. And to delete the Zero's ghost. Come together for our future. This Hymax will lead the mission. More like Humax. We guarantee your safety if you join us. Both Maverick Hunters and Reploids now suffer. Let's preserve our future together. We're waiting for you, everyone. How dare! He talks about Zero that way. Zero gave his life to save us. It can't be helped now. I love this. I love this typo. Actually, we saw the nightmare too, shaped as Zero. So, we also need to investigate what the nightmare is. For now, leave Isaac and Hymax alone. I wonder what are those suspected areas he mentioned. Can you find out, Aelia? No, due to a strong jamming. I can't look into it from here. So I've gotta go in there blind. Maybe I'll be able to feel the nightmare directly. Use the Schwartz, X. Use the Schwartz! Besides, I'm suspicious of the investigators. The nightmare. The mission is risky. Hello, Sickness. But we must minimize the damage by uncovering and defeating it. As Isaac said, we cannot allow any more Reploids to be lost. X, return to the Hunter base now. Roger. I'll be back right away. We are now beginning our mission to check the 8 areas that Isaac had sent investigators to investigate the nightmare phenomena. But considering the situations of the Maverick Hunters, you're the only hunter who could accomplish these difficult missions. As we've lost Zero, you are our only hope. Can you do it, X? I'll do it. I've just obtained the report on the nightmare areas and the investigators sent to the areas. I don't think you could go in X game without Zero. However, the details of the situations and the areas are still unknown due to bad radar transmission. Also, in case any changes occur in the nightmare area, I'll show you by a red signal. It is difficult to predict what the changes are, though. Yeah, so difficult that there has to be websites dedicated to telling people what each nightmare effect does, how it happens, and what they could do in different stages. It's convoluted. It's like the whole X1 thing where some stages change depending on what bosses you fight, but here it affects every stage. Sometimes it helps you uncover a secret area, sometimes it's just there to screw with you. That's okay. I'll know when I get there. I will discover what the nightmares are, and what Isaac's intentions are. Don't push yourself too hard, X. Remember, you are our only hope. Roger. X. What is it, Aelia? Nothing. Just be careful. Some Reploids may accept what Isaac says is true and come to the nightmare areas. If you find them, secure them and then send them back to the Hunter base. The Reploids you have rescued can be surveyed here by pressing the R1. And if you obtain any items, I'll process them into parts you can use. Hello, Douglas. You can equip the parts with the L1. Good luck, X. I only really have 3 stages I'm particularly worried about. You, and you. But I'll be right back. Need to take a short break. And I'm back. Now is when the real CBT begins. Playing as Naked X is downright painful. There are some jumps you can't even make with Naked X unless you have the Flame Sword, I think, to stall X in the air. But Commander Yamark is at least my go-to first stage now. Saving Reploids lets you get some health back as well, or sometimes they'll grant you lives. These praying mantis enemies don't stay dead, they'll just turn into nothing. Oh, and they'll send out very annoying boomerangs at you. I'm not hoping to become a typical Let's Play commentator explaining everything. X, I wonder when peace will return. I wanted you to live in peace and in a warless era. But we must put an end to this nightmare, and you somehow know about this, Dr. Light. Forgive me, all I can do is give you this armor, which you can only use the full armor once you have all the parts. It's following the X5 armor bullshit again. However, for security reason, the armor won't work until the 4 programs combine. Gather 4 programs to finish the armor. Now I will install a foot program of the blade armor. This program will enhance your dash performance and enable you to perform the Mach Dash. It's basically X3's air dash. You can dash while jumping and you'll be invincible while in the beginning. For the Earth, for the future, good luck. Apparently, data mining for this game suggests that armor combinations were going to be a thing, kind of like X8, where you can mix and match different armor parts together. But I take it due to this game's rushed development, that didn't exactly plan out. Those little floating eyeball enemies are called nightmares. Gathering them will grant you nightmare souls, and you don't want them to go near rescuable Reploids, otherwise they'll turn them into Mavericks. And they can respawn if you don't pick up their nightmare souls. Nice try. Still got heart tanks, sub-tanks, all that. This area is evil. The idea is you stand on these robots, they carry you over bombless pits. Or I'm sorry, spike pits. Instant death. For this part, I just like to damage boost, because you would have to take a leap of faith over a pit of spikes. And pray to whatever, pick a god and pray, hope that you land on the platform. I'm not gonna bother with you. For a first go of this stage, it's not that bad. Sure, the leap of faith is a bit annoying, and the overabundance of the praying mantis enemies aren't that great, but hey, at least the boss is kind of piss easy. You're the nightmare investigator. Commander Yamark? Yes, I'm in charge of the Amazon area. What's the deal with airline food? Why do I sound like Jerry Seinfeld? A very bad impression. Tell me, what is Zero up to? You must know something. Zero has nothing to do with this. Nothing to do this. Stop accusing him. I won't trust both the Maverick Hunter and Reploid Researcher. I don't know what you're thinking. I won't end up being betrayed and deleted. I will delete you first. But first, how about a bee joke? I didn't know this was Toho. Deals barely any damage. Get me out of this hellhole. You found the mysterious item. It's related to the nightmare. Let's call it a nightmare soul. Gather the souls to increase ranking. As your hunter ranking increases, you'll be able to equip parts. The higher your ranking, the more you can equip parts. Forgot about that. When you achieve the GA ranking, you will be able to equip the limited parts. Unlike the other parts, the limited parts should be equipped at the weapon select screen. Don't forget that you can use it one time only. Ammo option, it's basically a dragonfly shield and it can fire bullets off. Some Reploids will give you bonus health or bonus weapon energy, or 1-ups and health, so on. Or sometimes they'll give you parts. Rapid fire. Commander Yamark, an investigator in the Amazon area. He was a Reploid created for the Nature Preservation Project. He burnt the forest by control disorder. He wasn't accused of the incident, but someone alerted Yamark's flying system. Or, I'm sorry, altered Yamark's flying system. He crashed and died. He was created by my colleague, Gate. Alia makes it out to be that she kills some of the Mavericks you fight. I have a report. An investigator was already destroyed by that Maverick Hunter, I know. It's shameful they can't beat that mysterious old robot. Isaac, keep an eye on that hunter for a while. Yes, sir. Oh, how is the experiment going? Everything is going great and the effect is brilliant. We achieved 99.98% success rate by now. This is an amazing invention. But if you use Height Max in just minutes, you can control all Reploids on Earth. Was he gonna give ducks to everybody? Even the Maverick Hunter was no match. No! Continue the experiment for now. I want you to keep gathering data. Yes, sir. By the way, have you found out what you're looking for? Have you found what you're looking for? I guess it doesn't exist in this world. Oh, no, it does. I've seen him. Besides, he isn't some low Reploid that would die in such a trivial battle. I'll admit he's as persistent as X. Alive or not, there are many options. I'll find out for sure. It doesn't matter to me. You are on your own. I don't need the body of Zero. Anyway, just do the work and keep an eye on X. Yes, sir. And yep, the nightmare infection begins. I will be right back. And I'm back. I guess I can't equip it. Oh well. I remember this stage not being too painful. It's just lights reflecting off mirrors, I think. Very short level, but a very awkward boss fight. Oh, this is the nightmare effect for this stage if you fought Commander Yamark. Just bugs get in the way of your shots. How truly evil. Yep. It takes a while for the lights to track you. Yep, just hit the mirrors and it'll change directions. It's all, oh yeah, it's all coming together. Nope. Changing the mirrors to hit the door on the bottom will take you to a secret area. But I'm not quite ready for that yet. The stage is even shorter than I remember. I'm certain someone will say, oh, I could do a no-hit run of this stage, no problem. Shield Sheldon. I thought it was you. Sure, you're in my spot. I'm very sorry about the case. What case? If only I could have been there in time. Don't be. I couldn't fulfill my role as a bodyguard, that's all. You had been protecting the professor when the professor became a maverick. There was no other way. Our officers misinterpreted your action and you were hunted as a maverick. And then you retired yourself. That was so unfortunate. I couldn't prevent the professor from becoming a maverick. Which professor? Gate? I failed to protect him. But I'm going to fulfill my the duty as a bodyguard now. He gave me a second chance. I'll protect him even though I may have to sacrifice my life for it. Come on, X. At least he isn't complaining about having to fight. I've got nothing bad to say about this boss. It's actually pretty well made. Gotcha. Hitting the shells will send bullets after you, if I recall correctly. It's been 2 years since I played this game. I don't recall everything about it. One minute. I probably could have done it quicker. Guard Shell. This ability is absolutely broken on Zero. Saber Dash canceling is null and void because every time you have Guard Shell up and Zero swings a Z-Saber, every single frame it's up and you swing the Z-Saber, it deals damage. With X, it's alright. And it gets a full screen quadruple shells that shoot in an X formation. Shield Sheldon, ex-security police. He guarded Dr. Jim, who was an important person in the laboratory. Jim? Jimbo! Oh no, Jimbo's dead. Sadly, Dr. Jim became a maverick. Aw. Got a blast. However, he was able to control himself. The Maverick Hunters identified Sheldon as a maverick just because he was created by Gate. Sheldon could not deal with being labeled, and so he ended it all. That's dark. Next up is Infinity Maginian. Going in the weakness order now. Everyone who plays this game asks what a Maginian is, and it's a water flea. There you go, I saved you 2 seconds of Google research. Ready? The final countdown? What? What's that huge Reploid? I don't know what you're talking about, X. All I see is the void. You're in the weapons center. They have been constructing powerful weapons without the appropriate approvals. A huge Reploid, I assume it's Illumina. Considering that I couldn't pick up any reading of its activation, it must be a nightmare. All the stuff that happens in all these stages, just blame it on the nightmare. Clearly nothing else is causing all this to happen. There has to be cables which are sending energy to Illumina. Find and destroy them. Good luck. Just gotta keep running. Yeah, Falcon armor finally being able to charge weapons. I wish X5 had it. I hate that. Morty, why am I putting myself through this, Morty? Because you made a promise. If you're wondering where the secret exit is for this stage, don't worry. It's right there. Just beat the boss. My guess? The game was developed in 11 months. They couldn't have thought of anything more interesting, so there you go. I'll give you data for an armor program, Bah, 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 bah. Get all the parts, then you can play with the armor. The one I give you now is the ARM program for the blade armor. The better of the separate armors you can get in this game, in my opinion. With your weapon charged fully, hold the up button and press the shot button. Then you can attack with the charge blade. Ugh. Excuse me. You could do it, X. I don't wanna, though. And probably due to the 11 months of development, they give you the armor part and the heart tank. Because why bother making the player do anything interesting to get to it? Now for the moment I've been waiting for. Nightmare Zero. What do you think you are doing? Zero! Where is Zero? You don't need to know that. Ha! Well, it is you who will be eliminated. His weakness is the Z-Saber. He should go away, but doing jump slashes will cause him to stay on screen. No worries. The first death of many to come, though, I can guarantee you that. Omae wa mou shindeiru. Now if Nightmare Zero beaten, anytime you make it to the end of a secret path, you gotta fight Hymax. But I'm not gonna be cheap, I'll save him for the proper castle stages. My reputation has been damaged while away, being thought of as some stupid toy. Zero! Zero, you're alive? Huh. So, X is alive, is he? Seems Sigma didn't defeat me after all. But I searched all over for your parts. Your signal. But I found nothing, so... That is most unfortunate. I hid myself while I tried to repair myself. Sure, Zero. Let's go with that. I had to wait until I was healed. Well, it's been an emotional reunion. But now we must face the nightmare. If the Reploids are eradicated, then the... mankind, no, the Earth itself will face a crisis. Let's go, X. Destroy the nightmare. I have the biggest fucking smile on my face right now after that. I am so sorry. Yes, we will join hands. And never let anyone sever us again. We shall be shipped together forever. Let's go, Zero. That was some reunion, alright. I know that you have only just returned, and we're not gonna give you any more fanfare for you coming back from the dead, so... But I need to ask you something. Will you help X and carry out the missions? It is my job. I am a maverick hunter. I have been away for a while, but I am ready to fight for peace. These borders are so distracting compared to Mega Man Legacy Collection. At least those had the decency of being kind of not very distracting or intrusive. Just find my eyes wandering over to the text on the sides. I was considering making this an X-only playthrough, but I've already done that before. So why do it again? We'll just switch between X and 0. Darn, it's some kind of a trap. It's raining. I don't pick up any sign of rain in that area. It must be the nightmare phenomenon. Stay alert. I am gradually getting damaged. However, it's strange that I've been taking awkward breaks between every few words that I say. Been recovering when I'm on this machine. I can't guarantee your safety, but it's better to use them if they are helpful. But I'm worried about the rain. Is there any way to stop the nightmare rain? I know somebody would get mad if I didn't bring this up, but this isn't rain. This is acid rain. There you go. 0, get down. I'm gonna be complaining about this game, I don't know about you, but this is what I signed up for. Anytime now. Good thing I'm not signed up for a no-death run, or no-hit run of this game. But I do feel bad for no-hit runs of this game in particular, especially when it comes to this stage. Gotta balance on these tiny-ass platforms. Okay. Ow. In a previous recording, I tried doing this stage. The bat that was right there killed me when I was at 1 health. I can't even be mad about that. At least this part's generous enough to keep the health area intact after you use it once. Yep, over there's the armor part. I am not gonna rush this segment. Oh, right. Sometimes the cores will just be hidden by rescuable Reploids. Because that's good game design. Nope, there's the exit. Bastards. I think there's only one more to go. Maybe two. Nah, hell if I know. I don't play this game very often, Luigi. Mario, why are you playing this garbage? I thought you said you never would play it ever again. I feel like this question's been answered before, Luigi. Oh, now you respawn. Not looking forward to the boss either. Wait a minute, what am I worried about? I have guard shell, I should be fine. This went by way quicker than when I first played the game. Are you Rainy Turtloid? Zero, the famous Maverick Hunter. I sound like Bane. X and Zero are Reploids I respect. Fine. So don't fight me. Help me. I've been resurrected to carry out an important duty. A very important duty given by my master. Though I brought shame on my master, he allowed me to live. That's why. I have to finish my duty, even if it means sacrificing my life. I feel like someone said this earlier. I see. Asshole. Slideshow boss fight. Yeah. There you go. I could have Saber Dash canceled him, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to show how disgusting guard shell can be on Zero. And there was a glitch you can do in Commander Yamark's stage with Zero. But I don't think I have the right ability for him yet. Meteor Rain just fires a bubble of water upwards, then it comes down. Press weapon and down. Oh yeah, that's the one in Suizan. If you do in Suizan over those enemies with the platforms you could stand on, you do in Suizan, you hit the robot, you can fall off, and you're just completely invincible. I'll show what I mean later. Rainy Turtloid, ex-investigator of the Water Purity Improvement Team. He had Tortoise Shell shield to counter the strong acid rain. Okay, it's a tortoise? My bad. Thanks to him, we can explore areas that have a pollution level A. but his high defensibility was regarded as too dangerous. Requests to weaken Turloin ran high. Gate opposed this and was punished. Ooh. What kind of punishment are we talking about? Turloid was so loyal to Gate. In the end, he died to save Gate. Because this game's torture enough already, I'll tell you that, Alia. Yeah, let me show you what Zero can do with End Suizan. See? Completely invincible. It doesn't last forever, though. So these Mantis enemies that were giving me trouble before, not anymore. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it up there until I get the blade armor. But figured I'd show you what the glitch can do. And funny enough, you could use that on the final boss. Don't know if I'll be able to show it, but it's funny as hell. Anywho, I'm gonna take a break for now. Hope you enjoyed watching me suffer. The real salt will begin after this. I don't know who I'm gonna tackle next, but regardless of who it is, I know it's not gonna be fun. Take care, everybody. I'll work on my commentary as this series goes on. And, thanks. Goodbye. Oh.